What legendary YouTube channel doesn't make videos anymore?
Every Frame a Painting, gold for film students or aficionados.
Every Frame a Painting. Since then, Ramos and Joe have produced video essays released as special features for the Criterion Collection and the now-defunct Filmstruck, which would be restored via Criterion's own streaming service, the Criterion Channel. They have also recently contributed and directed video essays in Netflix's documentary series, Voir, alongside the critics Sasha Stone, Walter Chaw, and Drew McWeeny. David Fincher and David Pryor executive produced the series.
For anyone who loves film, I can't recommend the Criterion Channel subscription enough. On top of tons of the films they've released physically being accessible, they have a rotating library that brings in everything from brand new film festival hits to obscure films you can't find anywhere else, or at least not easily, and frequently package them in great themed collections like pre-code thrillers or oddball Asian horror. Just earlier this year, they featured Ticket of No Return, which I absolutely adored. It's not available for streaming anywhere else, and to get a DVD, not even a Blu-ray, you have to print out a physical form and mail it to the director's office in Germany, at which point you're going to be paying something like $200 for the DVD alone, not to mention international shipping. I'd never have seen one of my favorite art piece films if not for them, and there are dozens of similarly unobtainable films that rotate in each month. If that's not enough, they pretty regularly send out emails with gift certificate codes that never expire and can be used in their online store to buy physical media copies of stuff that might not be on the channel or that you loved enough to own. I ended up saving mine for about 2 years, then when they did a half-off sale recently, I snapped up 5 Blu-rays that I couldn't watch on the channel and didn't pay a cent. It's hands down the best streaming service I have for quality, quantity, and variety, on top of bonus perks like above. Throw in the film essays and bonus features from these creators, and it's film lovers' perfection.
CNanner's Dude was one of the funniest channels around for years. Then he got married and started flipping real estate and had a family.
His Trouble in Terrorist Town videos were a must-watch during my college days. My roommates and I would watch and laugh for hours.
I still remember when Nanners revealed in Giamad Murder that he had been manipulating the percentage chances to be the killer the whole time.
Jenna Marbles.
I like the idea of a creator making enough money to live out their life and just going away. It saves the embarrassment of trying to stay relevant later on. We are going to have a lot of aging YouTubers still cranking out content in the next decade, and it will be sad.
Jenna got nervous because of some questionable videos she made early on YouTube and basically canceled herself. I think the whole internet wishes she would cut herself some slack and come back.
Humor and PC culture has shifted significantly in the past 10 years. It's nearly impossible not to find any cancelable bits. However, some, like Conan O'Brien, seem to have stayed quite straight and still managed to be funny for 30-plus years.
Which is insane considering his rise to the top of late night included a masturbating bear, a cursing dog that sabotages events, and even a dog that would randomly shoot guests. I wouldn't have it any other way, though.
That's a great example of Conan's ability to work on the edge without actually punching down.
I would absolutely love for her to come back, but I mostly just hope that she's living her best life. I hope she doesn't still feel bad about any of that stuff and is just enjoying being a 37-year-old lady. There were so many more people who adored her than people who wanted her canceled, and I want her to be okay. She was such an important part of my life growing up. I'd always anticipate every Wednesday or Thursday, and it was such a comfort of mine. I still go back and watch her videos pretty often, too. She was my favorite YouTuber, and no one's really filled that space, so if she ever felt down to come back, that'd be an amazing day. But I understand and am happy for her if she just wants to enjoy life YouTube-free.
I remember in her later videos, she seemed increasingly tired. I really think being such a prominent online figure for a decade wore on her, and that's entirely understandable. Millions of people scrutinizing you. I think about that one video where she tries to teach the dogs to swim, and she briefly mentioned that she was wearing a swim shirt because she didn't want to deal with comments on her body. So many little hints here and there that make me feel as if she was just sick of it, which I imagine anyone would be. She definitely earned her peace, and she seems much happier now that she has it.
Technoblade died of cancer last year. Videos are still uploaded to the channel occasionally, but they are made by his dad, who seems like a great guy.
His dad's posts on the Technoblade sub always show up on my front page. It's very wholesome stuff. The community calls him Technodad, and it seems like they've helped fill the void of his son being gone. Very sweet.
Techno's dad is an awesome man. He's deep in the grief of having lost his oldest son, and he basically adopted the whole subreddit to help them through their grief and his own.
In a few months, Tom Scott, or his main channel at least, sadly,
Specifically, he's retiring from regular uploads as of January. He said that he may still upload things occasionally.
He said the same about Matt and Tom channel, and that's been dead for a few years.
That's partially cause of the technical difficulties channel was made.
Is Tom hanging it up?
Tom's not quitting, but he won't be doing weekly videos on the main channel anymore. Between Lateral, the technical difficulties, and his other projects, he'll be around. But don't be surprised if he does occasional videos still.
Adding on to tech diff stuff, Matt Gray on his own channel mentioned that there won't be any tech diff stuff anytime soon since Tom deserves to have time off for himself.
Total Biscuit.
He was the best and strongest voice for PC gaming, and during a time when game development was almost entirely focused on consoles. I'm pretty sure to this day, most reviewers and critics still don't look at the game menus, level of customizability, or accessibility.
He was the reason why Warframe really took off. His gist of it was, yes, it's new and has some rough edges, but you blokes should play it because we need to see more ambitious games from smaller studios, and it's pretty good. When he passed, the Warframe team members were in tears during a stream as they announced it.
Total Biscuit taught me so much about being a critical consumer and helped me discover so many amazing games. I finally bought the other day a game I've avoided spoilers for years because he's so highly recommended it. I'll never forget him. I wish I could have told him how important his channel was to me growing up.
Filthy Frank.
My younger sister is a Joji fan. The look of utter disbelief on her face when I showed her the old stuff was hilarious.
She was not ready for the rice fields.
The amount of Joji fans who don't know he is Filthy Frank is hilarious, Lowell.
It's always wild to me that he became so popular just dicking around, then fucking famous. Dude's got a knack for talent.
That's the thing. It's not like it's mind-blowing content. I got it. I understood all of it. I found it funny, but I had a warped sense of humor at the time. Never did I imagine that many people liked the same type of stupidity that I did.
The Cracked channel was so good and then everyone left. I think they're still putting out content, but it was unwatchable the last time I tried.
Left isn't the right word. Ownership slashed the staff to nothing and basically shifted to being clickbait on social media.
The staff that made Cracked the best website on the internet and one of the best channels on YouTube left, in much the same way that someone who was drowned in a bathtub left.
Freddie W., or Rocket Jump, as he later rebranded, the man and his friends peaked when they did VGHS, one of the first YouTube series done by a creator. It wasn't an ego-fueled trip as many others became, mainly because when Freddie appeared, he played the worst possible version of himself. It was well-written, well-made, well-shot, and full of so many amazing gaming references as visual gags, such as a hidden door behind a bookshelf having only a single book, the book being How to Build a Secret Doorway. Edit, like, holy fuck, I expected this to get buried, as I didn't think that many people remembered either Freddie or VGHS as a whole. Honestly, I was watching that show just as I was getting into modern gaming. Whenever I watch it, I just want to jump on a classic COD game. It's nostalgic as hell for me. Sad ending, but I love it.
Share in the comments your favorite YouTube channels that, unfortunately for you, have stopped releasing new videos.